Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. Today is the 15th of September, 2023, and the title of this video is The Truth of All Truth. Yes, this is a huge subject, and I'm going to do my best to accomplish my intention within 15 minutes or so. I am busy reorganizing myself with a new microphone, background, doing my best for an old fogey like myself to learn all these new technological ways and means to improve my delivery. So this is a little bit of an experimentation today. I trust it works well. The truth of all truth. We live in what is known as the third dimension. And there are many other dimensions. These are realities that vibrate at different frequencies, so we do not see readily the fourth dimension, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th dimensions. And as the dimensions go up in frequency, they become more subtle and less physical. Here we are at the third dimension with a very, very dense, heavy, low frequency. Here we have a very, very well demonstrated reality of duality, polarized duality. This means that if you have hot, you are obliged to have cold, because if you didn't have cold, you would not know what hot is. The same with up or down, night or day, good or bad, good and evil. Now, the interesting thing is that this duality is part of creation. We're all part of creation. Good is part of creation, just as evil is. You cannot separate anything out of creation, because that's what people have been trying to do for millennia upon millennia, and it causes nothing but suffering, devastation, destruction. In our present day, we have a group of people who are trying to control the weather. They're trying to control the carbon footprint presence, climate, financial, and we have nothing but suffering. Life is very difficult for most people, because most people are just living according to deprivation. This is all part of creation. Now, it sounds strange, that, but it cannot be any other way. What we are experiencing now, which is the greatest truth of all, is that we have allowed, agreed, and even co-created the reality we are experiencing right now. This is why we're experiencing it. It's not possible for a few thousand people to control billions of people unless the billions of people allow them to be controlled, allow the controllers to control the masses for whatever reason. The truth is that we have evil for a reason. And the reason is to teach us an incredible lesson that evil does not work. It doesn't produce, it doesn't cause happiness. It is deficient in love and compassion. So if we were wise, we would learn from evil and suffering, which is a byproduct, a consequence of evil intention, that this is something that we don't really want, but it's part of life. But because it's part of life, we don't have to have it, because we can choose whatever we want in life. If we choose evil or allow it to happen, that's what we're going to experience, and all the consequences that go with it. On the other hand, if we choose light, love, goodness, compassion, then that will figure in our lives, and that is how we will live, by all that which is our intention to include good, happiness, prosperity for all, according to our measure, of course. Love, light, joy. If we choose it, and if we think and speak and act so that those positive qualities are supported, and we are then in the process of creating and co-creating that beautiful, wonderful reality. This is the truth of truth. Whatever we are experiencing here and now, it's because we allowed it. We co-created it. If we don't like what we've co-created, we are at liberty to change. Now, how do we change? The only way we can change the world by which we live, the structures, including financial, medical, industrial, social, which are all external values to that which lie within us. Before we can change the external world, we are to first change our internal world. What is that internal world? It is the world in which our spiritual essence resides, our soul. Most people, as far as I am aware, are not aware of a soul or spiritual. They think spiritual is religious. Religious is all man-made and is relatively new. But spirituality, metaphysics beyond the physical world, quantum, energy, consciousness. I love to use the word consciousness. I wrote a book called The Emissaries of Consciousness, and I do recommend that you read that book. I honestly do believe that I've requited myself quite well in describing the indescribable. And you are able to see the books that I have written and are presented on my website, the address of which you could see down below in the comments. My website is still being perfected, but you can still see what's there. I have many more books to add to it, and the work is huge. Writing, editing, revising, book covers, synopsis, videos. It's a lot of work, and I'm doing it as fast as I can to get those books up there on the website. At the moment, at this date, the 15th of September, 2023, there are 6 books available. Maybe there's 8. Maybe there's 8. And I've got 36 books that I have written and in the process of writing. So keep checking my website and see what's available. And my books are all presented to you free of charge for the time being until further notice. I may just keep this forever, I don't know. The information is obliged to be presented to the public because there's a lot of good, valuable information, in my opinion. So I talk about consciousness. Consciousness is the truth of all truth, because consciousness underlies every thought we have, every word we speak, and every action we perform is underwritten, underlined, supported by consciousness. Consciousness is pure energy. This is the field of quanta, quantum physics, the unified quantum field of all that is, was, will be. So before we are able to change what we are able to perceive visually, what we hear, what we are able to see with our physical eyes, we are first to change ourselves from the inside. When we make positive changes on the inside, our essence is projected in the form of consciousness. That is the bricks and mortar in our co-creating whatever reality we are experiencing. This is the time, my dear friends, to emerge from a very dark era into an era of greater light and love, whereby we are able, if we choose, to start building a golden age for all of life, for all our animals, all of creation, for all of humanity. So the truth of truth is everything in your life begins from within yourself, myself. I urge us all to do whatever we can to develop more consciousness, which is innate within us, to develop our potential, which is innate within us, because we're only using about, on average, 5% of our potential. 4% of our DNA, 5% of our mental potential, we see about 5% of the light spectrum. Overall, I would say that we humans on average are using as little as 5% of our total potential. Do you not think it's time to spend our time, put our attention on developing more of our potential? Do you not think that as we do that, life will improve? I know it is the case, because this is what I have experienced in my own life. And this is why I'm talking like this. This is why my constant message is all about inspiration, motivation, achievement, consciousness, potential. We are able to actualize more potential than we can imagine if we only remove the blocks, the limitations, the hurdles that we have allowed to adopt in our thinking, speaking, and actions by the way we have learned beliefs, patterns of behavior, and programming from when we were born and even before. There are many, many messengers who are telling us what the problems are. Del Bigtree of the High Wire in America doing a fantastic job. Sasha Stone of the United Kingdom doing an incredible job. Russell Brand of the United Kingdom doing an incredible job. David Icke of the United Kingdom doing an incredible job. An incredible job. And there are many more. Greg Braden in the United States, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, many, many all over the world, in India, in Malaysia, They're telling us what the problems are. Are you paying attention? And these people are also giving us tools and are providing us with the means which can be very helpful for us to develop that potential that lies within us, to develop our consciousness. And by doing so, we will change everything we're experiencing now for something that is much better. I was going to say much more better, much better, much better. If you really want to improve your life and that of your family, it starts within yourself, myself. If we're only using 5%, what do we know? How can we be a good example to our children? And to develop more than 5%, 6, 7%, it's not difficult. It's very easy. You just have to start doing it. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I trust that we will all begin to work on ourselves more, because many are already doing so, and many more are to do that. And we can build a golden age for us all. Thank you very much. Until next time.